A recent episode of The Ultimate Fighter, footage was shown of Conor McGregor shoving Michael Chandler's face after losing 6 fights in a row. Conor McGregor recently sent a message to Michael Chandler, mocking him on Twitter.
Oh, we're gonna do this? We're gonna fight right now? We're gonna fight right now? Oh, we're gonna do this? We're gonna fight right now?
Henry Cejudo recently sent a message to Conor McGregor. He tweeted, "Hey at the Notorious MMA, I hope you win your upcoming court case. It'll be the first win you get this decade." Robert Whittaker on the UFC Unfiltered Podcast gave his thoughts on his upcoming opponent, Dricus Du Plessis.
Preparing for Izzy's obviously much different to anybody else, just because of the range he has, the height he has, and the ability, like his kickboxing skill set. Like you have to approach that fight differently. But generally speaking, the camps are the same. The work's a lot of the same. My coaches are the ones that watch a lot of the tape, and they make the changes and manipulate the training to cater to my next opponent. But, you know, we look at our opponents and we say to ourselves, like, what would they be training to try and beat me? And then we start working on those flaws, holes, gaps, or anything like that, just to make sure. So you know, with Dricus, he's a tough dude. He's hungry. He has nothing to lose. You know, he's riding momentum right now. He's going to make this a dogfight. He wants to make it a dogfight. How does he beat me? He makes it a dogfight. Wears me out, scraps it up, makes it ugly, pushes takedowns, tries to land bombs in close. That's how he beats me. But so with that knowledge, that's what I've been training. You know, I've been training to be the dog in the fight, and I look forward to it. You know, this is one of the fights that, I don't know, I just feel like there's a lot of honor to be gained in this fight. He's a pretty respectful guy. He doesn't speak a lot of, spoke a lot of negativities towards me. Like, we're just going in there as two warriors, going to leave it all there and just, you know, put on a good day's work.
George St Pierre recently had a training session with Elon Musk. On his Instagram, he went on to say, "Great training session with 3 men I really admire. Combined IQ in this photo is 1000, not including me." Logan Paul recently revealed they would fight Paddy Pimblett if Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg get booked to fight each other. Speaking on the Impulsive podcast, he went on to say, "If Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg fight, I will do my UFC debut on the undercard. I'll fight for free, for charity. Give me Paddy Pimblett. Give me Paddy the Baddie. In the off-season, that boy looks like a blimp, and he'll come up to my weight class and I'll wallop him." Michael Bisping on the Believe in Me podcast gave his thoughts on Kevin Lee's submission loss to Rinat Fakhretdinov.
Kevin Lee's a guy with a big reputation, with a big mouth, you might say as well. But listen, we're fighters. You've got to sell yourself. And I like Kevin. I like what he brings to the table. I like what he's capable of. I like his fights in the past. And I truly thought, you know, we talked about it last week about how we'd matured now and things like that. Still got that frozen up on my screen. There we go, Bri. I thought the reality is that was a tough matchup. I was going to say, that's a tough fight. Rinat Fakhretdinov. I mean, keep an eye out because he's only had 2 fights in the UFC. I forget what his record is off the top of my head. But he destroyed the 2 guys. Decisions. This time, clocked Kevin Lee with a thunderous right hand. And I thought Kevin was out. I was like, oh, God. But then he scrambles. He grabs hold of a single leg. He locks in the front choke, modified guillotine. And then the referee, it was hard to see, you know, and I'll let the referee off here because we couldn't see. I was watching live and then I was looking at the monitor. And from both angles, I couldn't see exactly what was going on. But then when the referee separated them, it was just face down on the octagon. The reason I bring this up, and it's I am in no way, shape or form mocking Kevin Lee. We're just talking about what I saw. And this is why I really felt for him as well, because he was unconscious for a while, face down on the canvas. And that's never a pretty sight. The UFC do a good job of kind of editing around that because, you know, it's hard to watch sometimes. Right. And I was looking at him because I was concerned when he was going to wake up. And I saw him. I saw the moment when he opened his eyes. And there's always, I've done it and people do it all the time. So it's, what happened? What's going on? Right. You know, and you could see the look on his face. He was like, but no. And it's like, it's the heartbreaking moment when it sinks in and you realize, no, bro.
Yep, he's out.
All that training, all that sacrifice, all that fucking work, it's done, man. You got knocked out or choked out. It's horrible, man.
John Kavanagh, in a recent Instagram live with Laura Sanko, said that there's a high possibility of Conor McGregor returning in the octagon against Michael Chandler.
I'm sure there's not, because I haven't seen any, but I would be remiss if I didn't ask, because 2 weeks ago, you said you're going to try to maybe get some info. Any updates for us?
Yeah, I'm going to really annoy you now and say I have nothing I can say, but let's just say my confidence in this fight happening is at an all-time high.
Good. Okay, that's all I need to hear.
Unfortunately, all sorts of NDAs and everything. I can't go into more details, but the fans should be excited whether you want to, like I said, as Ali said, whether you want to see Conor win or get whooped. You'll get that opportunity. The story is not finished yet.
I love it. I'll leave you with that, because that's a good note to leave on. I think we're all very excited for that, regardless of when, where, how it happens. It's going to be a blockbuster fight, and I know that we're very excited for it. And thank you always for your time. Stay safe in that storm. It looks like it may have already passed.
Oh, look, it's back like blazing sunshine again. So you just never know what you're going to get in Ireland.
I need to make it to Ireland someday. I still haven't been there, but
yes, of course. Bring you out, show you the Black Forge.
All right, let's do it. Thank you so much, John. Have a great day.
Thanks, Laura. All the best.
Belal Muhammad on his Instagram explains why he's the best welterweight in the UFC.
Belal, you're the best at 170. I do think so as well. If you go back down to the resumes, I don't think there's anybody in the 170-pound division with a better resume than me. Even when you're looking at ex-champions like Usman, who's considered by many to be the GOAT. In his title reign, it was 2 title defenses against Masvidal, who was an OG, but he wasn't number 1 contender in any of those fights. 2 title defenses against Colby Covington, who, like I said, never earned his spot. Maybe his first time fighting for the title, but definitely not his second time or his third time. He's never earned any of those spots. So he shouldn't have been number 1 contender. And then 1 defense against Gilbert Burns, who did deserve it, and then he lost to Leon. If you're looking at me, I beat Luque, who was on a big streak and weighed in as a backup for the title. I beat Gilbert, who I think is probably the toughest guy in the top 5. Sean Brady, who was undefeated, had hype. Wonder Boy, who's just finished Holland, so he still got it. And then Maya, who fought for the title twice. See, boys' resumes, I think the best in the division.